21 Gun Salute. Y'all already know who it is. It's Young Salvo, a.k.a. Sean the Rap Ref, a.k.a. 219 Salvo, i.e. Salvo from the 219 in the motherfucking building. 21 Gun Salute. You get what I'm saying? Yo, real quick. This Afan shit is nasty work. I'm just going to say it bluntly honest. I don't have any smoke with Afan, no animosity whatsoever. You get what I'm saying? Salute to Afan. Like, we cool. We chopped it up about what we needed to chop it up about. But this right here is crazy. And I have to do my due diligence and give my opinion on it because it's sector oriented what happened, right? So shout out to Retribution. That card is looking fire. And with shit like this is actually getting better by the day. But I don't know if Afan is battling on the card anymore. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't catch Yo-Yo's live, because that nigga known to private shit, I don't know if he private it or not. You know what I'm saying? By the time I watched it, it was still up. So you might be lucky enough to still go see it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it was, on a card that fire, you got Greg the Great versus Innovate on that card. So everybody is kind of looking at that. And I could have the names of the cards mixed up. I want to say that's Retribution. Don't butcher me. I'm going to do my official breakdown of that card soon. You know what I'm saying? But the placement has Afan and Mr. ENT at the top of the card. Now, Afan, he has a win. He beat Robs, but he main evented that card, and it wasn't really the caliber of a main event we expected. But being that we anticipated what Afan was going to sound like, it did make more sense for that to be main event because he could have shocked the world and just like put on a crazy ass 10 out of 10 performance. We didn't know any better, right? But now that we got an understanding of how he sounds, it's like, okay, well, maybe you need to work your way up. If you on a card with some great motherfuckers or some, people who put in way more work, maybe you need to work your way up to that main event spot. That's just out of respect for the other battlers. You get what I'm saying? That's not saying that you trash. I was known towards the latter portion of, my virtual run to say, yo, put me on the card a little earlier. I don't want to, I want to rap first. I want to be one of the first people to rap like Tay-Rock. That way I can just enjoy the rest of the card. So there's nothing wrong with not being a main event. You feel me? That main event is overhyped. That main event shit is overhyped anyway. I'd rather shock the world and be lower on the card than just be forced the main event. And I can't really live up to the hype because there's some gunners that just battled before me. So I say all that to say, like, if you want to be mad at somebody, and I ain't got no smoke with Afan at all, but you could be mad at me because maybe Adept seen this comment that I made. Maybe he's seen it because he see a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it did one of two things. He could have just been thinking this on his own, right? Looking at this card like, yo, Mr. ENT versus Afan, his main event is kind of crazy. That's nasty work. But maybe he didn't really choose to speak on it until I said what I said in Tim Rock's channel, and I was questioning the same thing. I'm like, no disrespect to either one of them, but main event, though? You get what I'm saying? And maybe that put the idea in Adept's mind from the start to where, like, oh, you know what, Rap Ref got a point. Or maybe he was already thinking it, and this is what I think. Maybe he was already thinking it, and when I came out and said it, he was like, okay, that's another person who kind of seeing shit the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is a business. We got to move like this is a business. I get we got friends and people do us favors, and we have advisors who say, yo, this will really work if you do this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's more so about what the consumer wants. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, Mr. ENT, I don't even think he headlined a card for Married to the Bars. Salute to Married to the Bars. And also, when they did the battle rapper rankings last year, they tried to say he was a parody tier battler. I think he battled one time over here last year. He lost to Stizzy in the Gulag. You get what I'm saying? That was the one rounder. It was, I voted it. I'm not going to lie. I officially voted Mr. ENT's round the wackest round I heard all last year. They're just keeping it a beam. So you have him facing somebody who battled one time against somebody else from Class 9. And for that to main event, it kind of looked crazy. So I voiced my humble opinion. I said, this is no smut to him. Maybe he can shock the world and remind us why he needs to be main event. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I looked at it like, yo, that's kind of crazy. Do you see the names on this motherfucker? And it's not hating because I had enough main events. That shit overrated anyway. So I feel like I was one of, if not the first people who vocalized that. I can tell you right off bat, I don't believe Greg the Great went behind the scenes talking about the placement of the card at all. Only people like Crush, when he come over here, is known to bitch about card placement and always say he need main event. Shout out to Crush, but he like, because he's established outside, he always come over here with that mentality. They, no, TMR, you got to make us the main event. He the only one I seen really doing that. You get what I'm saying? Or that I know of who did that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Greg thinking about card placement, because Greg is like the Danny Mizer virtual. He'll battle a motherfucker anywhere at any time. You know, so long as a few things, because I'm not saying he a cheap whore. You know, that's another thing I want to talk about. But so long as the things are aligned to what he wants, which is usually not too much, then he'll battle. He don't give a fuck about card placement or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, a few of us seeing that, it was like, nah, on this card, maybe a ring card, maybe some other card that makes sense. But on this type card, nah, y'all low key gotta, you know, open up the card. If not, be the second or third battle, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. For those who don't know what happened, you know, Adept was on the panel and he was kind of reiterating the same thing, like, yo, it's really not Afan, it's more so Mr. ENT. Mr. ENT, nobody knows him. He has no stock over here. And what we do know about him is they say he's a parity tier battler. So why is he in a main event spot? You know what I'm saying? It does kind of look crazy. You get what I'm saying? But from there, you know, at some point, Afan pulled up talking about he didn't want to do the battle anymore. And then he just got to talking reckless to Greg the Great. I mean, the personals was crazy. And even if they fake angles, the fact that he tried to publicize some of that information as truth is crazy. You get what I'm saying? Like, me and Greg done had our arguments too, and we ain't never took it to that level. It was nasty work, especially considering the fact that it's hypothetical that Greg went behind the scenes and talked to anybody about the card placement. Again, I don't think that happened, because Greg never came off as that kind of individual. You get what I'm saying? Even when he battled twice on the same card, he wasn't bitching about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that was very, very nasty work. Afan started attacking Greg. You know, you gotta know that a motherfucker. That's why I'm saying maybe that's something I missed. Maybe that's something that people not talking about on the StreamYard. Because that kind of anger that was in Afan is abnormal, unusual. And if you doing it for it to lead to a battle, okay, cool. We might be able to accept that. But from what I'm hearing, from what I'm gathering, there's only a battle probably not happening, you know, as a result of this. Because you pulled up, you said, take me off the card. And then you just got the bombing on Greg saying you was going to no longer him, saying you was going to beat him up if you ever seen him. That's crazy. That's, first of all, before we even skip to like personally attacking Greg, that's not even a reason to not do this battle, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I remember me and Supernova was opening up the card, and I was regretting battling Supernova because now reality was hitting me. Damn, I went from like battle of the night every motherfucking night to I'm opening up the card against Supernova. Now I see what everybody is saying. This look crazy, but I know what I signed up for, so I did the battle. And even though the placement ended up moving, this is how I was going to do it. I had bars to talk about that. So at the end of the day, I kept it about rap. You know what I'm saying? So if you keeping it about rap with your anger and your frustration, and I think Greg handled the shit like a champion, I'm not going to lie. You know, he was telling him like, yo, if you this mad, you need to put that shit into the bars. You know, that's the best advice you can give somebody that's frustrated. Because when I get called a crybaby, right, it's because somebody dissed me and I responded to it. But it's all in the name of competition. It's all in the name of sport. When other people get called emotional, you know what I'm saying, it's usually the same. But this one is different. This is about a card placement and people feeling somebody else needs a headline. You know what I'm saying? I never really seen nothing like this happen in virtual. And with the utmost respect to Afan, I have to totally disagree with him. And I also got to say that was crazy work. That was crazy work. And like Greg said, Greg is a veteran. Greg been around to know like the type of shit people remember. This is going to be a nasty stain, whether you do the battle or not. Now, this is going to be a nasty stain on your jacket. You get what I'm saying? Like, remember, like, and I hate to keep talking about myself, but like, I've been in your shoes before. That's the thing. Remember when I don't, shout out to you, tried it. I ain't got no problem with her, but I ain't want her hanging around nowhere that I was affiliated with. So I almost pulled out of the Gullah battle. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, even though I accepted the battle again and rewrote for it, like that became an angle against me. Like, oh, you quit something, you tried it. You know, I heard that a few battles after that. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be so early on to your virtual battle rap career, That's a horrible red flag. So my suggestion is, at some point you gotta apologize to Greg, even if you still want to battle him and then say all this shit. That's cool because that creates content. That's what we here for, the bars. You get what I'm saying? But I got to keep it real. You got to apologize to Greg, and you got to still do this battle, bro. Fuck it. If y'all, if the main event is that important to the nigga, y'all please let him main event. But just know that Adept not the only one who's looking at it like that, and I don't think Greg would stoop to that level and say, "Oh, I'm not main event." That shit is whack. You feel me? I judge battles for Greg. I battled the nigga. I followed a lot of like his movements, and he never came off as the type that would even want to do some shit like that. In fact, that nigga trying to line up battles right now, and that's another thing. You was attacking him, Afan. You was saying shit like he bend over for leagues. We got to stop doing this, bro. We got to stop attacking the battlers for wanting to work. That shit corny to me. That's what really pissed me off about the live. At first I said, yo, that's nasty work, but that's virtual. That's how I go. But the reason why I wanted to blog on it is because you said he bend over for leagues because he want to battle for multiple leagues. Like a Danny Myers would do. Like any independent contractor would do. They get hired for their work individually in multiple places. They are not owned to one unit, by one organization, by one branch, firm, company, whatever the fuck you want to call it. When certain people like, I'ma just use what's it called? I'm gonna use Restore Order for example. When certain Restore, and we got to keep it fair, when certain Restore Order battlers only battle exclusively for Restore Order, we complain. But when there's people who's willing, like Rob's too, to battle in other places, they get these labels like they battle rap whores or some shit. I don't like that shit at all. What the fuck it's a lose-lose situation even battling over here. That's what you're saying. Because rather I stick to one league and that's my league. Okay, I'm a slave. I ain't got no freedom. I gotta ask so-and-so if I want to battle. But if I go across the street and try to do my own thing and then double back over here and then go over there, now I'm just a battle rap whore. I don't like that shit, yo. That shit is corny as fuck to me. Because the battlers don't win in that situation. So you saying the best thing for a motherfucker to do is what you arguably trying not to do, and that's to not battle. Because regardless, if you stick to one league, you know what I'm saying? If you stick to one league, you a slave. If you go to other leagues and battle, you a prostitute. That shit is corny to me. We got to stop that in virtual. Stop making that a thing. That's something else I heard a lot. Rather they were saying, oh, you know, TMR, you was a slave for TMR, even though I only battled like 2-3 times over there. And I battled, but when I battled everywhere else, they said, oh, you be begging for battles. It's like, bro, like that shit is corny as fuck to me. What do y'all niggas want? What do y'all niggas want? Pyro battled in the most motherfucking on the most cards for the most different leagues last year. Guess what? He got V Cody under his belt. Battle rappers supposed to be outside. Stop that shit. Yes, I feel like you can be a top contender. You can win that shit on one league alone, but at the same time, why is you being mad at somebody for being available? I don't get that, bro. I don't get that at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's still like, I have no animosity towards, I almost called him angry fans, so I must be up here talking too much shit. But I have no animosity towards Afan, but this was just nasty. This was probably the worst crash out I've ever seen because of what's at stake here and how it started. It started over something so fucking small, and it got to personal things. You talking about this man's financial situations and this and that, and then you call him a battle rap whore and saying you will no longer him, you will shoot him, you would beat him up if you see him in person, all because you think he might have had a conversation behind the scenes saying that the card placement don't make sense. When it's other people that's on file looking at it like that. Like, I got to keep it a beam. You probably should have had this energy for Adept and not Greg the Great. I'm just keeping it a beam. And Adept, obviously, you know, he not shy. He would have been able to reiterate what he means. Like, it's no disrespect to you. It's more so to miss the ENT side of things. Like, let's just keep it a beam. That's what it is. That's what it is. Like, if you was facing somebody like Clip, Innovate, even Rap Ref, if you was facing somebody, even John, even Loso BX, okay, that main event, that could be special. That got the potential to be special. But because we know what to expect from Mr. ENT, and you're not that established yet, it really don't make sense for this card to be a main event. That's just the bottom line. But I hope y'all work this shit out, because this is nasty work. That's that. At the end of the day, that's what I want. I want y'all to work this shit out. like men, you feel me? Get back on the same page, do what y'all got to do moving forward. Even if Afan just got a main event, let him main event this one. Maybe he just not used to how shit goes. So if it flops for whatever reason, I don't mean the card generally, I mean him being main event, then he'll be able to see why in real time. Sometimes you just got to learn those lessons the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do wish you the best in your battle. And I'm on record saying this too. I would have had you beating Mr. ENT clear anyway. But I also would have Rods beating Mr. ENT clear, Brick Street Sprite, Sigmas, anybody from the ring. I'm not going to lie. Anybody from the ring, I would have them beating Mr. ENT clear. So I still wanted you to go in there and do your job because you would have had the bragging rights. Yo, I'm 2-0. I don't think because Brick Street took a L. Rick Ruger lost the judged battle. Robs lost. You know what I'm saying? I don't think too many people started 2-0 from Class 9. I can't really think of a name that started 2-0 from Class 9. And that's no disrespect to nobody because Class 9 is one of those too. They got a lot of developing to do, but the potential, I see it. You know what I'm saying? So just think of that. Think of what's at stake here. Like the good outweighs the bad, and I don't think there's a reason to cancel this battle, bro. So hopefully by now y'all done reconciled, or in the future y'all will reconcile, get back on the same page, and go from there. To then, man, I am gonna break down the full card a little later. You know what I'm saying? I've been busy running around trying to do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit lined up. Y'all need to stay tuned for announcements coming soon. But y'all already know who it is, man. 21 Gun Salute. Rap Ref signing out.